Welcome to the Cory Lee Show, where our focus is on building leaders and transforming culture. My name is Cory Lee, and in each episode, I aspire to ignite something on the inside of you that encourages you to grow yourself and to make an impact on the world around you. Welcome to the Cory Lee Show. Hey guys, welcome to the Cory Lee Show, and in this episode, I sit down with my friend and serial entrepreneur, Aaron Washington, and he starts to share his journey of how he was cutting hair as a child out of necessity, but he turned that experience into a passion and blossomed into a successful, booming business. We discuss the importance of passion and how nothing in the world that has ever been significant has been created without it. We also talk about the importance of understanding who you truly are and how you can get ahead by maintaining a positive outlook on life while everybody else stays stuck in negativity. This is a super powerful episode, so let's jump in. Take us on the journey of has entrepreneurship always been in your blood? Like, did you sell like gum and stuff to kids in school? Tell us a little bit about your backstory.
I always was a leader. Yeah. I believe in being out front, even from a kid. Yeah. And that's part of my background. But my hometown is Smithville, Mississippi.
Come on.
A place that I still love dearly and love to the Lord call us home. But I was raised with single parent, one mom, 6 kids, 2 girls, 4 boys, boys dead middle. I'm in the middle of everybody. Wow. So entrepreneurship was something, Cory, that I'm not going to say I went into, but it's more poured out of me. Yeah. It was down in me. So haircuts was a necessity at that time. I needed a haircut, but wasn't barbershops nowhere. So we literally in the woods. We was in the outskirts of Smithville and the outskirts of Amer. I grew up in between the cities. So in the country, in a rural area. But it's just something that I fell in love with. And being a leader, I just love leading. Yeah. I love it. I have a passion for it. And just go always back to Smithville, Mississippi. That's where it started at, right in my mom's kitchen. That's where I was developed at, right in that area.
Wow. And so started doing that there. But what about like when you opened up your first business? Was it the barbershop, or like did you have another business first? Or
the barbershop. The barbershop is the springboard to everything you see me do.
Yeah. I
was 13, 14-year-old cutting hair at my mom's house. I went from cutting hair all the way through junior high, high school, on over to Itawamba, ICC. I got a football scholarship. And we turned my room 108 Pontotoc Hall into a barbershop, basically. Yeah. It was just a place that I cut hair. We had fun. We laughed. We played the PlayStation. It was a melting pot for people to come in and join and have fun, but get a haircut. Most of the haircuts was free. Yeah. I'm in college. If I got $5, thank God I got that. But that's where it started at. And in 1993, I found Gibson Barber and Beauty College in West Point, Mississippi. Well, it was 92, 93 was when I finished. And I didn't look back. I thank God for meeting John and Evelyn Gibson at that time in West Point. Yeah. They taught me some ropes and showed me how to really turn this into a lucrative business. And it's been good. Yeah.
You know what amazes me about that is the importance of having passion for what you do. It doesn't even matter what that is. It could be like what I do, leadership training development. It could be cutting people's hair, but having a passion for it. And I think that's what really is attractive about real leaders. You said from an early age, you're a leader, having passion. I see so many people that are just so passive, and just, man, the passion is what attracts and is what moves people. And so, man, I see that in you. Even you telling your story right there, you could hear the passion for what you do,
Yeah. Passion is so important because it's something that can't be taught. Yeah. You can't teach a want. You can't want it for somebody. But you got to have passion. It's a burning desire that's in you that won't go away. It'll keep you up at night. Yeah. It won't let you sleep many days, many times. And one of the most things, I think the greatest resource on the planet is people. Yeah. And that's where my passion is. So the haircut is a clickbait to get you in there. Yeah. And once I get you in there, over the years, I learned it's so much more than just that haircut. Yeah. So it's the conversations that I want to give back to people, and the doors and the connecting and being a community builder, not tearing down. Yeah. I want to be in a place which the whole planet Earth, it's just good, and we should take dominion over it. Mm-hmm. And take resources and just utilize them to the best of ability. So it's fun. Where's the next conversation? Where's the next person I can help? Where's the next person that's going to help me? And all of this take place in that barber space.
Yeah.
So that's how the mentoring and all of that come about. You know, you just learn. I tell people I know enough about everything. Sometimes not to know enough about nothing. You know how you get the jack of all trades and master of none. But I've talked to everybody from all walks of life, Cory.
Yeah.
And it's just been a blessing.
Yeah.
It's been a blessing to us.
You know, it's really interesting. So I grew up in Baldwin,
I got you.
Right? And so, and really, we're in Baldwin. There's really two races. You got white and black.
Yes.
And but it's been really interesting as we've gotten the opportunity to travel. I've met people from all over the world, and just you kind of said it underlying, man. People are like, the uniqueness of people is what's beautiful. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and I think a lot of times when we don't really know someone or, you know, their background or whatever, then we tend to judge what we don't know. But as I've gotten to see people, man, there's just something beautiful about that. And man, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, you know, a wide variety of people that you get the opportunity to meet.
Yeah. It's funny that you say in Baldwin, you got two races, white and black. At the time I was growing up in Smithville, we had white, very little black. But the relationships that we had was pure.
Yeah.
And they still resonate and rich until this day.
Yeah.
A lot of my brothers and sisters are Caucasians that I love till the Lord called me home.
Yeah.
Those are the kids and guys that I played with, grew up with, sweated in the football locker rooms with, baseball, basketball, classrooms.
Yeah.
We cried together. We laughed together. But at the end of the day, we got one race. That's the human race. I believe that until the day I die.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to have issues. And I know you probably don't want to get into this. We got race issue, all kind of that kind of stuff. Cory, I try not to look at all that as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think I try to change what I can change, and what I can't change, I leave it in the hand of God.
Man.
But Smithville, Mississippi is a place that I love.
Yeah.
I don't apologize because it wasn't predominantly black.
Yeah.
I don't apologize because it was predominantly white.
Yeah.
I just know I benefited from it. Mm-hmm. You know, there are some issues that it could have been different, but I think I really grown, and thank God over the years that I was blessed to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
That so many people don't get the opportunity to look at it from the perspective or from the lens that I got to look at it from.
Yeah.
So.
Man, that's good too. And man, you can find the good, like right now, you can find the negative in pretty much anything, but you can also find the good. And honestly, I think that's what makes you such a good entrepreneur and a good leader, is because, man, it takes zero talent to call out the dirt and lies of other people. It takes zero talent to call out the problems in culture. But, but if I want to look for solutions, I can find that.
That's it.
I remember my wife and I, we got married. We moved to Florence, Alabama, moved to Jackson, Mississippi, and then to Phoenix, Arizona. And I can remember each time we moved, especially going down to Jackson from North Mississippi, I'd tell my mom and them, you know, they're like, you don't want to go down to Jackson. You get shot down there, right? But man, I tell you, when we went down there, one of my best friends I met down in Jackson, and like just the connections that we made. And I loved every city we've been in. We truly enjoyed it, you know, and you can change that perspective, and that's what you're saying, you know.
Yeah,
so.
Most definitely, man. You know, I remember meeting you. I think it was Tupelo River Coffee was the first knowing Cory Lee several years ago, and we met, and you was always in there with your head down, working and studying and working. And then we look up several years later, here we are 2-3 years later, and the body of work that I've watched you put together just from the time I met you is amazing.
Yeah,
and I thank God that we crossed paths. And you said it earlier, we talked about doing some stuff together and hanging and doing some stuff. And now the timing is right. Yeah. So we here at this moment. And you showed me nothing but respect. You was always kind, always pleasant, and always said kind things to me, always encouraged me. And I don't forget that. Yeah. Because through life, some of us go through so many stuff through a day and time till you may not get nobody that look at you, that look like you, to say anything positive, are great to you, or encourage you.
Yeah.
So I don't spend all my life waiting on something that looked like me or something that I can be familiar with to give me affirmation.
Yeah.
I say, God, you know what? Today is your day. This is the day that you made. I rejoice and be glad in it. I know one person can change my life for the good. And I don't mistreat no human being that I cross.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You never know where that word, you never know where that love going to come from.
Yeah. Never know.
And
man.
you can miss it. You can miss it. You can box yourself in. And that's okay if you do that. But I still think if you're going to have a solid relationship with God, you can't X nobody off that he created. Now, there's some people I just don't want to deal with that I think God
hang out with them all the time.
Yeah, you know, they need a little more work in some areas, such as I'm not sitting here behind this mic saying I'm perfect.
Yeah.
But I try to do my part as a human being on this planet.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for being you.
Man, I appreciate that. That's awesome, man. And you said something right there that I thought is really powerful as well. Like, you never know what's going on behind somebody. And I had a guy in here, man, we were doing a podcast probably about 3 months ago, and he said something along those lines. He said he was in a tough spot. This dude's like 19, 20 years old. From the outside looking in, I think he's got everything, right?
Yes,
I went to church with him. Looks like he's got everything. Dude's thinking about suicide, like thinking about committing suicide. And he said he was about to do it. And he's at ICC, goes to ICC, and a guy that he knew back in the day from soccer asked him to sit down with lunch. He asked me one question, and he said, "Man, how are you doing?" Just super simple question. And he said, "Nobody has ever asked me how I'm actually doing."
Wow.
And it, broke that off. Like, he didn't even want to go commit suicide, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, man. 'Cause we never know. We never know that one conversation that could change somebody's life for the good forever. Just by asking somebody how they doing.
Yeah.
You never know. There's so much stuff out here on this planet now that's pulling people everywhere and this and that. And you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
If you take time and pray and get up, you can see.
Yeah.
You know how humans are supposed to act. And you know when we're at our normal state and when we're not. And we just never know.
Yeah.
We just never know. That's why we should do good, and we should just ask somebody.
Yeah.
I'm from the rural South, and it's hard for me to pass people up.
Yeah.
It's hard for me not to speak, not to be nice, if a person would allow me to be that.
Yeah.
And there are instances you just can't be that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you was in position to take care of him on that level, because you just never know, Cory.
Never know, man. Aaron, I got a question for you, man. I think me and you very similar in a lot of things, and you seem to be very positive. I love that about you, and have a positive outlook on life. Let me ask you, how do you do that whenever you see things in culture, or maybe you see, social media saying all the things that they say? Like, how do you maintain a positive outlook when there's chaos and uncertainty around?
Nelson Mandela said, "When the wise keep quiet, fools multiply."
Oop, hold on, say that again.
Nelson Mandela, I watched a quote where Nelson Mandela said, "When the wise keep quiet, fools multiply." But it's not obedient to speak truth at all time either.
Yeah.
But I think there's a time for us to get involved, and there's a time for us to say something. But most of the stuff that a lot of people get in is pure foolishness.
Yeah.
And I don't have time for that. I need to be on purpose and know exactly what I'm trying to do at this day and time.
Yeah.
Every fight ain't my fight. There's times you need a fire department. There's times the police need to be called. There's times the ambulance service need to be called. Every fight is not my fight. Every moment ain't a time for me to pick up and get involved.
Yeah.
But there's times I see some stuff, but a lot of it, once you see it over and over and over, it don't mount much of nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hang out in love. I'm gonna hang out in the right places. I'm gonna hang out with the right people.
Yeah.
We said it earlier. I want to be a solution. The problem's there.
Yeah.
But we'll spend all our time focusing at problems and looking at problems and all of that, and never spend not one moment in the solution.
Yep.
Okay, we have problems in our city, but what are you doing about it? Okay, there's problems going all over across the world, but what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
So if you ain't trying to have a solution, then you probably just as much part of the problem as the problem.
Yeah.
you know. But there's a time, you know, if you come up in my yard with it, it's time for me to say, hey, this property belongs to Aaron and Twila Washington. You know, let's see what's going on here.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it's out of my way, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I'm not on social media to be a social media police patrol, if that makes sense. I sound alarm to everything I see, even in the community. Yeah. You know, go get measure twice, cut once, Cory. Get your information, get your facts right. Yeah. You know, I'm so glad. You know, the last conversation we had, you asked me, was it okay to pray for you? Pray. I'm like, yeah, Cory. And I respect that so much. Yeah. This is the first podcast I ever been on that was open up with prayer. And I appreciate that. Yeah. And I've learned, like, okay, I really like that. Yeah. You know, so I think if more people would end calls with prayer with people, more people would call their friends, call their neighbors, call the mayor, call the leaders, call and say, hey, man, I just want to have a prayer with you today. Yeah. I think we could see a major change across what we're doing on a daily basis. Yeah.
Man, you said, not every fight is my fight. That is so good. And there is, and I think that's part of a challenge as a leader. When do I speak up and when do I be quiet? And there is a time, and when you said that, there are two proverbs that are back to back. They are back to back, Aaron. One of them says, don't answer the fool in his folly, or you'll be like the fool. But the very next proverb says, answer the fool in his folly, or he'll think he's wise. And it's like, well, hold on a second. What do I do? Do I answer the fool, or do I not answer the fool? Well, it's discernment with the Holy Spirit, right? It's like walking. Is this my fight, or is this one's like, man, just, you know, stay over here. You keep leading, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Because, man, you always have people trying to push you in stuff, push you in. Well, you the leader, push you in. Well, you the leader. Hey, no. I'm not going to go fight Mike Tyson and you scared of him. You want me to go get beat up just for your benefit. I don't mind if the time is right. Yeah. But that's not my calling. Yeah. That's not my calling to do that. I'm fighting every day of my life when I get up trying to do good, when I get up trying to be positive, when I get up trying to be a mentor, when I get up cutting hair so people can go get a job, so people can go get married, so people can go look better, presentable. You know, I'm fighting. I have a platform. I have a business. I have a place that I do every day that I'm fighting. That may not particularly be my fight, but there are some group fights, some community things that I just have to get involved in. Yeah. You know, I can't allow certain things to happen and I don't say anything about it. You know, but if you out there on social media with 900,000 people or 9 million people that's not even from our geographical location, not from our area, they got all this influence, but you ain't from here. Yeah. You don't know what we're battling. You know, sometimes your fight in the home need to be in the home. These are the people that know what's going on. We need to work this out. We don't need an outside influence. Yeah. So sometimes you just got to know. You got to know what you called to do and what you're trying to get done in those moments. Yeah. You know.
As I'm listening to you, Aaron, one of the things I'm picking up is really you really rooted in your identity, like of who you are and who you've called to be. And I feel like that's something people really struggle with is because when you understand your identity, it allows you to be bold and be courageous, that you don't have to fight for anything or strive for it to make things happen. And I like what Coach Prime says. It says, if you got to go around telling everybody you that dude, then you ain't that dude.
You
right?
ain't that dude.
You ain't that dude. And so, but I would love to hear from you. I don't know, was there a journey in that where you discovered that, or maybe it's just kind of part of you, or somebody who may be struggling with that? You got any advice for them?
Yeah, it was a journey. And then I grew up in a family that always encouraged me. Yeah. My mom, my grandmother, my uncles, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my aunties, they never told me that I couldn't do this. Yeah. And my mom is one of the biggest cheerleaders, you know, Twila, but my mom, she's amazing. Yeah. I mean, if I call, I could hear her smiling. And she's never not said, you can't accomplish this. And failure is trained, just like leading and confidence can be trained and taught. And so just encouragement all the way from Smithville. I won highly in sports. I was always drawing. I was class favorite of my senior class. I succeeded at Itawamba. I succeeded as a barber. Amory, Mississippi treat me well. You can't be from Smithville and not claim Amory, because that's where I hung out every day, every other weekend, coming to Tupelo, Success Breed, so it's daily. And as you go, you discover this is who I am.
Hey guys, I hope you are enjoying this episode of the Cory Lee Show. Y'all, I am on a mission to build leaders and to transform culture. So if you're looking for a speaker who speaks directly to the heart, a mentor to come alongside you and your team, or if you're in a position where you're looking for a personal coach who embraces where you are and also believes in who you could become, then I would be honored to walk this path with you. Simply reach out to me on my email at Cory@CoryLeeLeadership.com. Look, let's make your vision a reality. Contact me and together we'll navigate the path from aspiration to achievement. Your transformation, it starts now. Yeah.
On top of downloading God's word, and he's teaching you and telling you, and you can see it and you start living it and manifesting it. I have to be my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Can't nobody or no voice resonate in my heart, in my head, louder than what I hear and what I see, other than the word of God.
Yeah.
So no matter where you at, because listen, most of the people that I know that succeed fail.
Yeah.
Or have failed. It ain't about that. It's how long will you lay in those moments? Will you try again?
Yeah.
Will you get up? So just over many years of succeeding and getting up got me to have the type of confidence and knowing exactly who I am.
Yeah.
One is my biggest father. I don't know if you know this about, so I'm going to share this with your audience too.
Come on.
One of the biggest moments, one of them was going undefeated football season at Smithville, Mississippi. We won 3 straight playoff games. We was 13-0. The first time the school has ever went to this moment, on our way to the state championship. And we met Mount Olive High School with the late Steve McNair as a quarterback. And we lost the state championship game to them. Now, at that time, sports is at the top of my list. I mean, it's a toss up between going to church or watching football game. I'm locked in. Yeah. So losing that game hurt with such a passion. I mean, that was one of the worst feelings I ever felt in my life. Because number one, it was my senior year, and I knew I wouldn't get another chance to do it over again. And so you will fail. I know I got off the plate, but you will fail in those moments. But I got back up. And the very next year, we won the state championship at Itawamba Community College, state of Mississippi, junior college championship. So, but years of block building has got me to where I am now. And I clearly know who I am. Yeah. There are some mountains I know. I climbed that. I've seen that one before. That ain't no problem. But there are some mountains. It's very seldom do I get scared. I think I can go to the top of Mount Everest now because I know what to pack, how to train, where to get. And so come on, y'all, let's go.
Let's go. I love that, man. And I think I've heard several super successful people, they talk about they're just standing on a pile of failures, and that's what it is. And man, I've had some failures that super embarrassing. It's like gut punches, and you just in the moment you just want to crawl under a rock and never come out. But you just I gotta go. You gotta keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, you cross every T, dot every I. You know this the way it's supposed to work out. Like I know this the perfect business partner to put around me. I know this is the perfect location to get. Yeah. And you dive into it, and it just don't work out the way you see it. And you've done every pivot that you can make. And sometimes it don't work out. Yeah. Doesn't mean that it was a bad person, bad place, bad opportunity. It just didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Yeah. And you just can't, like I said, lay there. You got to move for the next moment, next opportunity. Yeah. And have more wins than losses. Yeah. Have more good days. If I could use the word bad day, sometimes I don't think those exist. Yeah. I think there are moments that just didn't work out, but try to have more choices. You make good choices, you're gonna be where you need to be.
What I hear you saying, was it actually a bad day or just a bad moment that you extended? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you can extend it. Yeah. And some people let that moment go on. They could have ended it in a month. Yeah. 10 years later, They still in that moment.
Yeah.
Won't move. And you got leadership classes that you bring in. You got mentors that you do. And they all over the planet, all over the U.S. And people won't move. And then that hurt too, because when you have passion, you know there's more. There is more. But they hooked on that one thing. Yeah. And I could tell them now, dude, we 50. How you still hurt by what happened in high school 35, 40 years ago? But I can't gauge that for them. I can only assume what they ought to be doing, but you just never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Aaron, what about maybe there's somebody who's listening, they in that high school range right now, maybe they in that college age range, and it's kind of stirring in their heart of like, man, they feel like they're a leader, want to be in that business world, but you know, they're up and coming, they're still trying to wrestle with that identity. What kind of words of encouragement would you have for them?
I would say go for it.
Just go for it.
Be strong, be tenacious. I mean, you know, have strength, laser focus. Don't quit. You know, develop tough skin, because you're gonna have some battles that you got to fight, and it's not always easy. You're not gonna have easy days every day. Keep a lot of fuel in the tank. You got to get your rest, but I say go for it. Go for it. See it. Even when other people can't see it, believe it when either other people can't believe it. You have to believe in yourself, and don't turn around.
Yeah.
Don't turn around. Don't have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 other options, Cory. You have to find out what is it that you want to do, pick a path, and start.
Yeah.
Pick a path and start. Because like I know, it starts revealing itself more and more and more as you move the car down the road. Yeah. You know, you can see it. Most people can't come and say, only God see it from the end and then put us back at the beginning and say, now go.
Yeah.
We have the ability to see so far. But I would say dive into it.
Yeah.
Dive into it. You know, on the road to success, it won't be always crowded. I don't even want to throw the word lonely at them because they may not get started.
Yeah.
But as you start this journey, you'll be by yourself a lot of nights. You at the table, you burning a lot of midnight oil, you doing a lot of praying, a lot of meditating, even sharing some tears by yourself. Not so much all the times that you shedding them for yourself. When you have passion for people, you sharing it, you have to share tears for them.
Yep.
You have to be an intercessor for what they're trying to do. You know, even when they can't see it. You know, I remember keeping my barbershop doors open for some years just for other people, because I knew if I could get them to this moment, they would be okay. You know, they would be okay. So, but go for it. If you're in high school, you're in college, don't turn around. Go for it.
Yeah.
Listen, turn your audio on and hear the voice of God. That voice that won't, and that thing that won't go away, that's him. That's him saying, that's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Don't be no fool now. There's a lot of voices going to come to you. Cory, you know where I'm coming from. But that one thing, you know, I used to love chasing football. That pigskin, the way it smelled, felt, you know, the contacts that I was having on the field was like, it was no feeling like Friday night. But the cutting hair, the conversations, the being in entrepreneurship, becoming a businessman, it wouldn't let me rest.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let me rest.
I love how you're saying you almost just kind of keep pulling on that string, and the Lord just reveals as you take that step of obedience. And I often say experience isn't the greatest teacher, but evaluated experience is. And I was thinking about my wife and I, in a 5-year period of time, we built 2 physical therapy clinics, 4 gyms, had 3 kids, sold all the businesses, and then transitioned out. And I often thought about that of like, you know, it always just started as a dream. We would be driving down the road and was like, man, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we owned our own physical therapy clinic? And wouldn't it be cool if this physical therapy clinic had a gym with it, right? And it was always just a dream. But if the Lord would have told me, hey, in the next 5 years, you're going to have 2 physical therapy clinics, 4 gyms, and you're going to have 3 kids, and then you're going to sell it all. I was like, whoa, hold on a second. How in the world am I going to do that, right? Like, I'll put it into my own hands. But as you're just obedient and take those next steps, like what you're saying, just taking that step, and then what you got next? Oh, I'll take that step too. And then you look back and say, whoa, holy smokes, look what the Lord did, right?
Yes,
And it's like, man,
yes,
that's...
yes.
And one other thing I want to call attention to of what you said is there will be hard days, and I forget what you said, but the way I heard it was, don't be unoffendable. Like, just
Yes.
be unoffendable.
Yes.
Like, man, if you can just... You said tough skin. Yeah.
Tough skin.
Like, people are going to say stuff. Just let people say stuff. Let them go on, say all this stuff. But you just be unoffendable, and you just go on and do your stuff. Succeed anyway, right?
Yeah. yeah, most definitely. I like that, succeed anyway. But yeah, it's amazing the stuff that God has started doing and asking you to do. And you don't understand it till you understand it. The owner of the dad, Mark Cuban, he said this, and I won't forget this one either. Mark Cuban said one thing when he bought the Dallas Mavericks, when he was doing all this shenanigans in this, is he wasn't aware of the platform that was given to him. And he didn't handle it, I guess, at that time the way he would after he got the experience. And that's the same way when you buying business, doing business, trying to do stuff. It's the platform that God is trying to give to you. And once you understand what he's doing, it becomes easier.
Yeah.
It's easy to sell it. It's easy to let go. It's easy to let him keep developing you because you beginning to understand his ways and what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of men pick up razors, clippers, combs every day, but never turned it into a business.
That's right.
People have microphones, use them every day, some people, but never use it as a business. So God is always saying, hey, I want you to do this for this. And I thought it was for this, but it ended up being for something totally different.
Yeah.
Cory, never thought I'd be doing some of the things that I'm doing and has been able to do in the barbering world because I made that first step.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at, I need to make some money. I need to put some cash flow in my pocket.
Yeah.
Still need that today.
Yeah.
You know,
So go get a
I don't
haircut,
know when is
buy
enough.
some beard
to get
oil.
enough. Yeah. But it's the platform.
Yeah.
It's the people. It's being in a place to help. If I hadn't have been there, it's some people never would have got a free haircut.
Yeah.
It's some conversations never would have been had. It's some jobs some people never could have got. It's some community relationships never would have developed. But because I'm aware of that, I know how important it is for me to get up and be what God want me to be in those moments.
Yeah.
And be in my position, be in my right place. You know, because if you miss it, it ain't about the people. It's God that you're going to have to deal with.
That's it.
You know, and it's tough to go home knowing, oh man, I gotta have a conversation with God. and I know I ain't in the position I'm supposed to be in, but you get up and you keep going. So
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being you again, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I do have one other question for, well, maybe a couple more, but I got one of them for you for sure. A lot of the people that listen to this particular podcast, they're either in a leadership role or they own a business or they're thinking about that. Most of them are very kingdom-minded. And so, and sometimes as a kingdom-minded leader, kingdom-minded entrepreneur, it's like, how do I make business decisions that while listening to the Lord? Like, how do I wait on the Lord to hear what I should do next? I would just love to hear your process and like what does that look like for you as a kingdom-minded leader? How do you listen to the Lord? How do you seek the Lord? Just your process in general.
It's through God's word.
Yeah.
And that Bible is a living book that will reveal a lot of stuff to you. And getting away in my private times, I'm an early riser.
Yeah.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, especially when the weather's pretty. I love to be out in the park or up. That's when stuff begin to be revealed and I can feel it and I can see it. And just praying and having meditation and being key to that guy over there drinking coffee in his coffee shop. He's different. I mean, the way he spoke, that's how stuff began to be revealed. That's how, listen, God don't come down and strike fire out of a rock sometime in two. He might for some people.
Yeah.
But it's through relationship.
Yeah.
It's being so keen, so aware, and just listening. I'd be like, this is what I hear it. You know?
Yeah.
I was talking about podcasting 7-8 years ago. On a whole level. I'm just telling everybody around me, it's coming. This podcast. Let's get this studio. Let's do this. I can prove to you where walk some guys through buildings.
Yeah.
And we waited 2-3 years. And then all of a sudden, COVID hit about 5 years ago. And everybody went to, man, I tried to tell you. But God always speaking, you know, sometimes it ain't this big supernatural thing that we looking for.
Yeah.
It could be through the mouth of a babe, of a kid. But my thing is just setting the table right.
Yeah.
You know, I like the earth to be at peace. I like to be at calm. You know, I like to get it early in the day.
Yeah.
And I develop, sometimes it come in pieces. You get one piece of the puzzle and you have to sit on it, see where it's going to go. And then it may be 6 months, maybe a year. You begin to see it all connect. And then sometimes it's 4 or 5 chunks at a time.
Yeah.
But that's come with just working, like I say, and staying connected and listening.
Yeah.
And being obedient to what he have to say to you.
Yeah. That, what you just said right there, man, I found that to be so true. And I think that's sometimes what a struggle is. We're impatient, or we want it right now, or we see, especially type A people is like, want to go make it happen. Oh, I've got one thing, I'm going to go do all that. But it's like sometimes he gives you bits and pieces and you just patient. And man, that's so good. Do you like to read?
I love to read, but it's challenging sometimes. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I'm not one of these guys going to read 200 books in a year. I'm a book summary. You know, I get pieces and I get tired of it, but then I will lock in and get some books done. Yeah. But that's something you're gonna have to help me with under your mentor. That's all right. But I will read. I'm a reader, but I don't read constantly. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't.
Has there been one book that's really been impactful for you, or just one that stands out to you?
How Successful People Think.
Okay. Yeah.
By John Maxwell. Yeah. The E-Myth.
E-Myth.
It stick out to me. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah. Read that from cover to cover a couple times. Millionaire Next Door. Of course, the Bible. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. I live and die by that one. Yeah. But I like read. Yeah. You know, I'm a business. I'm a entrepreneur, magazine type person. Articles. Yeah. I'm consumed with that stuff. But to have a book library, I don't have, you know, I have a bunch of books, but I ain't one of these guys that's collected over 5,000 books. Yeah, I'm with you. My wife would say I'm different. I've got like a bunch of them, but you know, I was just curious some of the ones that have made an impact on you, and man, I love those. And so, here's another one too, because your audience may want to hear it. The Rhinoceros Success.
Oh yeah, man, that's one of the first ones. I forgot about that.
I love that book. Yeah, that's good. You know, every time that rhino is going to charge, he'll lose his life to accomplish what he wants. Yeah. And so that's been a good book. It stick out to me. Yeah. I forgot about that book. We did a multi-level marketing business one time, and that was one of the books they got us to read. And I was like, oh, I like this book. That's good. Yeah. So Aaron, man, I really appreciate you coming on. And so there's some people that listen, they don't know anything about you. They don't know about what all you do. So real quickly, tell all about some of the businesses you have, and then those that are listening is like, man, I want to connect with that guy. How do they connect with you? You can connect with me at Aaron Wash. That's AARONWASH Beard, BEARD Co. AaronWashBeardCo.com. And that's my website. That's the quickest way to catch me. And my cell number is 662-255-0415. 662-255-0415. And if you Google Aaron Washington, Tupelo, Mississippi, I'm going to pop up. Yeah, yeah. And tell some of the businesses. So you've got the barbershop, and then I have the barbershop. Of course, I have my own suite that I cut in, but I have my beard company, e-commerce store online, Aaron Wash Beard Co. is my main one. And now I'm a life insurance agent with Primerica, studying for my investor's license and all that, so we can tie all of these 1099s up. And my barber and cosmetology industry, because I see people that need to get started earlier, and I see people that's toward the end of the career that needs help. So everything I do line up to help people that I love. Yeah, yeah. The parallel businesses there. I like it. Yeah. Yes. Well, Aaron, man, you have added a ton of value to me. I've truly enjoyed the conversation, and I know it has our listeners. And so
really encourage you to connect with Aaron. We'll have it in the show notes below, his website, his phone number, all that stuff there if you want that.
Yes.
But he does a lot of mentoring, adding value, and you can hear it in his voice that he has a desire to see you succeed. And I think that's what you're looking for when you're looking for somebody to come alongside of you is someone who embraces who you are but believes in who you can become. And I can hear that in Aaron. And so, Aaron, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, come on.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank you, Cory.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with any of the latest episodes of The Cory Lee Show. And you guys have a great day. God bless.
Peace out, y'all.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Thanks for joining me today. I hope I have added value to you. And if you have found value in this episode, let me know. Drop a comment and make sure you share with a friend or family member. See you next episode.